Well guys, with just a couple more days of the month of January, we'll be moving into February, but also Nintendo Direct month. And of course, this is where we start speculating what we're going to receive, what this Direct is even going to be like, but more specifically, when is this Nintendo Direct actually going to happen? Well, there's a lot of dates out there floating around, but there's still a couple that seem to be more accurate based on what I think is going to happen. So today, not only am I going to share with you when this Nintendo Direct is probably going to happen, but also what I believe this Direct is going to be like and what content is going to be in the show as well. So if you're excited for this, stop what you're doing real quick. It'll only take a quick second. Leave a like and subscribe if you're excited for the upcoming Nintendo Direct, and let's dive into this thing. So Nintendo Direct time. When do we actually expect this Direct? Well, out of the last 5 years, we've had Nintendo Directs in February, 4 of the last 5. So we can pretty much expect one once again for this February. As for when this is actually going to be, well, I believe it's going to be the week of the 5th, which is technically the second week of February, as later on this week we will be actually entering the month. So yes, I'm saying next week we'll probably get a Nintendo Direct. Now, I've had a couple people kind of hinting to me that this could be the week, especially one that keeps hitting me up on Twitter right now, so I'm not 100% sure how accurate they are. We shall see, because they are claiming that this week, yes, this Tuesday, we should get the announcement of the Direct, and the Direct should air this Wednesday on the 7th, which actually makes a lot of sense for a lot of reasons. The week actually ends with 2 concerts as well, one for Zelda and one for Splatoon, so there's a very good chance we could get a Direct this week, followed by maybe even some Treehouse events, and maybe ending the week with obviously these 2 concerts. It seems like a big week for Nintendo, but the week after that is Valentine's Day week, so maybe Nintendo wants to stay away from that. You know, Nintendo's weird. They don't like to do things anywhere near any type of specific days, and then after that it'd be too late, because you know normally they don't have Directs on the last couple of weeks of February. So yes, I'm going next week. I think we're going to get a Direct next week. I think announcement either Tuesday or Wednesday, so look forward to that. And one little last thing I do want to bring up with Tommy Bear that's been hitting me up on Twitter is that he did call a State of Play this week, which actually was announced shortly after, although the State of Play technically got rumored or leaked last night, where we learned that Sonic Generations was going to get some Sonic Generations Ultimate, so it's hard to say whether that information was super accurate or not. But of course right now, unless your name is Pioro, we take everything with a grain of salt here. Okay, so let's say Nintendo Direct is indeed happening next week. It's still going to be one of the hardest ones to predict, because there's just so many rumors circling around everything with Nintendo this year. There's rumors suggesting that a brand new console is indeed coming this year, whether in the summer or later on towards the holiday, so that's definitely going to change what we get in this Nintendo Direct. Do we get the announcement of the console here? Do they focus on some of those new console games, or are they just going to completely ignore it? Based on the rumors and information that I've heard, once again, it's impossible to say what's true and what's wrong right now, but the whisperings are saying that we might just get a very mediocre Nintendo Direct that's just focusing on more remakes, remasters, and ports. And honestly, it's not really mediocre, but more along the lines of probably boring for a lot of people that may have played all these old games, just more old games coming to the Switch, which is something that I think we're going to expect. If there is a new console coming, this Direct is really just going to give us some more small things and information on things that we already know, and I would say there might only be one big title in this entire show. If Nintendo does not talk about this new console, yeah, it's going to be a remaster remake fest, and like I said, with one brand new title. I think we get even more information on Princess Peach Showtime, we get even more information on the Splatoon 3 Side Order DLC, there might even be some more trailers for Luigi's Mansion 2 HD, and even Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door, and there's probably going to be even more information on remakes and remasters. Like I said, there's still some Zelda games out there that's been rumored, like Ocarina of Time getting a remaster, or maybe Wind Waker and Twilight Princess HD ports from the Wii U, or maybe even the Oracle games could be getting remastered. We still need Metroid Prime 2 and 3. There has been rumors of F-Zero GX getting a remaster. So yeah, I mean, we could keep on going on and on and on. There could be so many more remasters and remakes coming. Not to mention, lots of the titles might just be very small. Maybe another Mario Party or another Mario Sports game, as we're still waiting for Mario Baseball, or something along those lines. For the most part, it's going to be relatively small, and probably just clean up for the Switch like the rumors suggest. And like I said, there's probably not much room for a whole bunch of new things. Honestly, I think Nintendo's going to start the show with something like a Metroid Prime 2 remaster, maybe even 2 and 3 together, some type of remaster along those lines, and they might end the show with another big remaster that people have been waiting for, which means overall it's going to be a relatively small show. But there's still a slight chance that there's one more game coming to the Switch before this new console comes, and I feel like the only game that could possibly be is Donkey Kong. I feel like it's time that we see what what this Donkey Kong game is that apparently has been in the works for a very long time. There are rumors saying it's going to be 2D, there's rumors saying it's going to be 3D. We really don't know what this game is, and apparently we've been getting a little bit of information here and there, and Necro Felipe Online, the only thing that we've heard from him was that apparently it wasn't going to be Donkey Kong Country related, meaning that there is a good chance that we could be getting either a new 2D Donkey Kong that's different in art style, kind of like something like Super Mario Bros. Wonder, or maybe a 3D Donkey Kong game. But I'm going to say it's probably the former, because Nintendo, a new Donkey Kong that's in 3D just sounds too good to be true. Like I said, ports, remakes, and remasters is what we can expect, with maybe a sprinkle of a couple of small titles with possibly just one big announcement. Now, what about Switch 2? What are the odds Nintendo just comes out and says, you know what, half the show is going to be dedicated to the future of Nintendo, to this brand new console, and to some of the games that we can expect, meaning that big open world 3D Mario game, maybe they can show off Mario Kart, maybe they can show off Metroid Prime 4, maybe a whole slew of things, maybe Donkey Kong is actually part of that lineup as well. Yeah, not likely. Not likely at all. I feel like Nintendo wants to focus on that individually and just kind of use this direct to focus on the Switch and the Switch only before moving on to that presentation later on in the next couple of months, in either March or April is what I'm expecting. So that way they can have either a summer or a fall/winter release for the new console and that big open world 3D Mario game. I'm not saying that it's impossible, but I feel like Nintendo would definitely tell us ahead of time. You know, they'll normally say all the upcoming games coming to Nintendo Switch this year. You know, if there is a new console, they'll say, hey, some new games coming to Switch and also new information on the next Nintendo hardware. So I guess we'll know when they announce the thing, but we're just gonna have to wait and see. But like I said, based on everything I've heard, it sounds like there's gonna be a separate presentation for this new console in the months to follow. So do not go into this Nintendo Direct expecting the world. We're gonna get some surprises for sure, but don't expect it to be an absolutely mind-blowing show, giving us everything that we've ever wanted and finally releasing the console, or at least showing the console off. I would look at this show as like the appetizer before the main course. The last thing that I'll say is maybe Nintendo shows off a big Switch 2 game at the very end of the show and doesn't tell us that's for Switch 2. What if they reveal that big open world 3D Mario game and just say it's coming towards the end of this year, but don't tell us exactly what it's coming on. Just says 2024 at the end and that's it. They could do this with a lot of games. They could do this with a new Mario Kart. They could also do this with a new Metroid Prime 4 trailer, actually showing us what this game is for once. And they don't have to show the Switch logo or anything, just kind of go into the trailer and show a release date and it just looks absolutely phenomenal, and then we can all kind of speculate that yeah, that's coming on a future console. Will Nintendo do this? I still not 100% on board with this idea either. I feel like Nintendo wants to keep all the new games for the new console during its own presentation all together and not like mix and match them, but who knows. So like the only way this happens is if Nintendo has absolutely nothing huge to end the show with. Not even a big remaster, and Donkey Kong's not there. There's nothing that they can end the show with, so they're forced to show something big. That's the only way that this could happen, and I guess time will tell. But like always, I leave it up to you guys. What are you expecting from this upcoming Nintendo Direct, and what would you like to see from the show? Do you think it's going to be a big one or a small one like the rumors suggest, and when do you actually think this Direct is going to happen? Do you agree with it being next week? Let me know everything down below, and make sure you leave a like and subscribe before you head out. And like always, I'll see you all on the next one. We're almost there, guys. Just hang on a little bit longer. See ya, guys.